Thank you very much for having the patience to wait for us to conclude our first NTF-ELCAC executive meeting today. I'm going to read the statement which the members of the executive committee had agreed upon and had a consensus on. It reads, the members of the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, also called the NTF-ELCAC Executive Committee, convened for the first time today, July 15, in our bid to strengthen the commitment and collaboration among member agencies. Under the administration of President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., the NTF-ELCAC's efforts to ensure peace and development for all Filipinos will continue. The task force strongly recommends the need for offering an amnesty to prevent the resurgence of the communist terrorist group, especially in geographically, geographically challenged, isolated, and disadvantaged areas. The Executive Committee also recommends reaffirming the importance of the whole-of-nation approach in tackling the root causes of the armed conflict. We recommend a further commitment to implement and enhance programs of the NTF-ELCAC's various clusters in public services, empowering local governments, strengthening partnerships with stakeholders, ensuring peace and law enforcement in the communities, providing tailored assistance to former rebels and former violent extremists, and work towards genuine healing and reconciliation. The end of the statement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, NSA po. And now, for rejoinders po and to reiterate some of their commitments po that they've made inside po no, during the EXECOM meeting earlier, I would like to call on po our other panel resource persons po no, before I give the mic to them po. Joining Dr. Carita Carlos po, our NSA, is again our Secretary for OIC, Secretary for Department of National Defense, Secretary Jose Faustino Jr. We also have the Presidential Advisor on Peace, Reconciliation, and Unity, Secretary Charlie Galvez. The Chair of the National Commission on Indigenous Peoples, Chair Alan Capuyan. The Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, General Andres Centino. The Police Lieutenant General Vicente Danao Jr., the Officer in Charge of the Philippine National Police. We have Yusek Jonathan Malaya of the Department of Interior and Local Government. We have Assistant Solgen Angelita Miranda of the Office of the Solicitor General. And of course, we have our Executive Director Designate of the NTF-ELCAC Secretariat, retired Lieutenant General Emmanuel Salamat. Sir, will you be reading the statement? That was read already by NSA. Okay, so maybe we can ask our first po, our DND OIC Secretary Jose Faustino, sir, for rejoinder or for any remarks, sir, regarding the meeting inside po.
Yes, thank you. We are very happy for the developments that we have today. And we assure the Filipino people of our commitment, particularly the Department of National Defense, in pursuing the objectives of the National Task Force ELCAC. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now from the Presidential Advisor on the Peace and Reconciliation and Unity, Secretary Charlie Galvez.
We would like to thank our Chair, Secretary Carlos, for really leading us to this first meeting. It's very successful, and I would like to congratulate her. And I would like to thank also that the Peace, Reconciliation, and Unity has been one of the primordial focus of the national government. And we would like to really make sure that the amnesty program, which is on our table, will be pushed to the Senate. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po, Sec. And now from the National Commission on Indigenous Peoples, Chair Alan Capuyan, sir.
Thank you. The National Commission on Indigenous Peoples would like to express our gratitude to our presiding officer, the Vice Chairman of the NTF-ELCAC, Secretary Carlos Mam, that through this first ever meeting for the new administration, we make sure that there will be an alignment of perspective and understanding, and we come up with major steps to inform the Filipino people that indeed NTF-ELCAC will continue, but certainly there will be adjustment and changes based also on the evaluation that we're going to do. So, tuloy-tuloy lang po tayo. Salamat sa inyo lahat.
Maraming salamat po, Chair. And for everyone's information po, Chair Allen is the former Executive Director of the NTF-ELCAC during the Duterte administration. And now for the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, General Andres Centino, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. The Armed Forces of the Philippines is one with the National Task Force ELCAC to work for the achievement of the objectives of the task force. This problem has lingered for several decades, and the Armed Forces of the Philippines will be all out in ensuring that we achieve the peace that we have all aspired for in our lifetime. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po, General, sir. And now for our OIC of the PNP, Lieutenant General Vicente Danao, sir.
On behalf of the Philippine National Police, we would like to assure our new administration, especially so presided by our new NSA, that we are committed to really end the local communist terrorists, and we would like to assure them of our commitment. Rest assured that we'll be doing everything to really end this problem the soonest possible time. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po, Lieutenant General. And now, the Vice Chair of the STRATCOM cluster of the NTF-ELCAC from the Department of Interior and Local Government, Yusek Jonathan Malayan.
Thank you, Angel. In behalf of Secretary Benher Abalos of the Department of Interior and Local Government, we'd like to express our thanks to our National Security Advisor, Secretary Clarita Carlos, for holding this first meeting of the National Task Force ELCAC under the Marcos administration. We reaffirm, the DILG reaffirms its commitment towards the objectives, mandates, and goals of the National Task Force ELCAC. Maraming salamat po.
And now for from the Legal Cooperation Cluster po, we have Justice Angie Miranda po.
First off, I'd like to thank you again, ma'am, for gathering us today for the united actions towards the attainment of EO70, and that is to end the local communist armed conflict. Once again, the Legal Cooperation Cluster of the NTF-ELCAC under yours truly would always be there in order to defend our ultimate goal and to defend the Republic of the Philippines in its body politic. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po to our resource persons po. And now po for this part po, we have our open forum. All right. Okay, so we have two microphones. We have a cordless one over here by this handsome gentleman. And then we have the microphone over there po, by the books po, no? So if you have any questions for our panelists, you can ask now. Please state the news organization you're in and your name po. Thank you very much. Yes, sir?
Good afternoon, secretaries and sirs. Nabanggit natin na I'm Chino Gaston from GMA 7. Ma'am, nabanggit natin amnesty. Are we also considering reviving the peace talks also as a means to, offer amnesty nga dun sa mga communist terrorist groups natin? Thank you, sir.
That is a decision that the President of the Republic will make. And if you will notice in the statement, our statement really is recommending to the President, because it is the President who will make the ultimate decision in regard to the amnesty declaration.
Thank you. SMNI.
Hello, Secretary Jason Rubrico po of SMNI News. Under po ba sa administration ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, may pagbabago po ba or may bagong approach po ba tayo to counter insurgency? And may mechanism po bang babaguhin o madadagdag? And ipagpapatuloy ba o mas i-improve yung ginagawa ng NTF-ELCAC under the past administration?
Yes, maraming salamat. Sa bagong administrasyon, meron namang meron ng direktiba ang Pangulo na ipagpatuloy natin itong NTF-ELCAC. So right now, itong kauna-unahang meeting na ito ay para malaman natin kung ano yung status niya ngayon dahil may mga bagong members tayo at ituloy-tuloy yung mga naumpisahan na at yung napakalaking achievements na nagawa ng National Task Force ELCAC noong nakaraang administrasyon. Napakalaki na ng idinulot na kabutihan pagdating sa kapayapaan itong National Task Force ELCAC. Kung mapapansin natin ang mga violent incidents na ginawa ng CPP-NP, NTF ay bumaba. All the parameters ay bumaba kasama ang kanilang strength, ang kanilang firearms, ang mga affected barangays, lalong-lalo na ang mga guerrilla fronts. So ito ay pagpapatuloy natin. Kung meron mang sigurong pagbabago, ito yung pagbabago para mas mapaganda pa o ma-enhance yung mga proseso ng ELCAC.
Good afternoon po. Lian Guan po from Rappler. Ma'am and sir, former Yusek Badoy posted on Facebook that a current NTF-ELCAC official called her to silence her. Was this about red tagging? And as a second question, what would be the direction of the current NTF-ELCAC about red tagging?
Okay, ma'am. Kung yung tungkol sa kumausap kay Yusek Badoy, wala po kaming kinalaman doon. Hindi ko alam kung ano yung... At I really don't have any knowledge about it, probably even the other members here. Ngayon, yung bumabalik na naman yung issue ng red tagging, inuulit namin ang red tagging ay hindi po nanggaling sa National Task Force ELCAC. Nabanggit na po namin ito na hindi namin ito tolerate ang red tagging at ito po ay hindi nanggaling sa kanino man dito sa National Task Force ELCAC. What we're trying to do is to unmask kung ano talaga yung totoo, kung ano yung mga grupo na ito. So, paulit-ulit tayo dito sa red tagging, ulitin namin na ito ay hindi po nanggaling sa amin. Ito ay nanggaling sa kabilang grupo at hindi po namin ito polisiya dito sa National Task Force ELCAC ang red tagging.
Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am, from NHK.
Good afternoon, Celerina Monte from NHK. Ma'am, I just want to rephrase the question of Chino Gascon regarding the peace talks. So, based on your joint statement, apparently there's no proposal for the government to revive the peace talks. So, is that the policy now of the BBM administration not to pursue with the peace talks and like status quo, like follow what the Duterte administration did before?
Sa ating pong National Task Force ELCAC, kaya po nabuo po yun dahil kasi nagkaroon na po tayo ng decision previously yung about the termination of the peace talks. And then we're still waiting for, sabi nga ni ma'am na we're still waiting for guidance. Of course, sa ngayon, ang ginagawa po natin, ongoing pa rin po ang peace talks pero ginawa natin, nilocalize natin. Kung titingnan po natin yung history ng peace talks, nung panahon ni President Cory Aquino, very exhaustive ang ginawa natin, but what the CPP-NPA have done is to mobilize and organize. Kaya lumaki yung kanilang pwersa sa 25,000. And kung titingnan nyo, sana sa amin sa OPAP, lahat, sa OPAPRO, yung lahat ng history ng peace process. And it ended up to nothing. Pero ngayon, nakita natin, when you see the history of the local peace engagement, noong panahon ni President Cory Aquino, nagkaroon tayo ng very significant success doon sa CPAT Mount Data Agreement, wherein the CPLA were able to mainstream. Ngayon, hinahawakan pa rin po namin at maganda na po ang kanilang mga kabuhayan. And then later, EO 115 was issued by President Erap Estrada, which is implemented by Madam Heidi Yorak. At nagkaroon po tayo ng napakagandang yung ating tinatawag na CPP-NPA Rejectionist Group o yung tinatawag nating kapatiran, yung Tabara Paduano Group, ay nahando na rin po yung aklan. Buong aklan po ngayon ay matahimik na. And then later, nung nagkaroon po tayo ng EO 70, yung tinatawag nating LPE na hawak ng DILG at saka ng OPAP, Maganda po ang nangyari sa Region 9 at saka sa Region 11. Nandun si Secretary ng Defense na kasama namin po doon. Nakita natin halos ang lahat po ng mga ng mga ating mga kasamahan ng mga front commanders ay bumaba na po at talaga po nagkaroon po ng mga local peace engagement, empowering the governors, the regional peace and order councils, and also the mayors to really solve the problem of local terrorism doon sa area nila because they know very best yung solution. So nakita namin based sa assessment namin within the more than 50 years na negotiation natin, wala po tayong nakuhang maganda doon sa national peace talks.
So in short, no more discussion with the group of Joma Sison.
Yes, nakikita natin mas maganda kasi yung we are talking with the UN country rep natin. They have the experience sa Nicaragua. Nakita niya, sabi niya, mas maganda yung tinatawag na local peace engagement dahil kasi nandun yung goodwill, nandun yung tinatawag na trust and confidence. And nandun yung tinatawag natin yung authentic intentions of both parties to really come to peace. So mas maganda yung ganun na klase dahil kasi mas huyo siya, o tinatawag natin nakaangkla siya doon sa mga tinatawag na needs at saka mga issues na localized. The dynamic of conflicts is different in different areas. Iba-iba po yan. Iba sa Bangsamoro, iba po dito sa area ng Northern, iba rin po dito sa Visayas, iba rin po doon sa Central Mindanao at saka dito po sa Southern Mindanao. So mas maganda po na ang ating localized peace engagement, makikita po natin yung interest at saka issues ay nandun din po na-address ng lahat ng agencies na nandun sa local. And NTF-ELCAC is the best tinatawag natin the best venue wherein good governance, integration, and collaboration of agencies will be there. So nakita namin na talagang NTF-ELCAC is the solution in ending this communist terrorist group.
Sorry, can I make another question? Can I deviate from the topic since most security officials are here?
Ma'am, I'm sorry, it should be related to NTF-ELCAC only. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am?
Hello po, good afternoon. Amor Santos po of CNN Philippines. Just wanted to clarify po yung points that were raised earlier. So tama po ba to say that the NTF-ELCAC is not recommending yung revival of peace talks as of this moment? Is it safe to say that po?
I think the question has been answered in a very involved way by Secretary Galvez. He said that the local peace talks, the local peace councils are the ones working, so we continue on that level. In regard to the resumption, that is the call of the President of the Republic.
All right po, ma'am. So no recommendation from NTF-ELCAC regarding that matter?
Yeah, they're all localized, following the position that articulated by Secretary Galvez.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Right, SMNI again, yes.
Dagdag lang po na question, may pag-uusap na po ba o dialogo ang bagong pamunuan ng NTF-ELCAC sa mga dating kadres? Ano po kaya yung magiging role nila o papel ng mga dating kadres under the new admin of NTF-ELCAC? Sir, Secretaries.
Thank you, sir. Yung mga dating former rebels, mayroong framework of discussions yan. Kasi ang laki talaga ng tulong nila sa ating activities sa NTF-ELCAC. So, you've been hearing statement from some people, but personally, as the outgoing executive director, we don't want to create divisiveness. So, that is, I just take it as an internal issues because of misunderstanding and communication gap. But we can assure you that the NTF-ELCAC is united in its direction. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po, Chair. And yes, ma'am. We'll go back to you, ma'am. Sige po. Yes po.
Going back lang po sa recommended offer of amnesty, would it include all political prisoners, meaning it would cover all the crimes allegedly committed in furtherance of a political cause, or would it be narrowed to what are called the CTGs or the communist terrorist groups?
We don't know yet the nitty-gritty of this recommendation, so let us just leave it at that.
Okay. Last two questions po, NHK.
To OIC Faustino, since modernization of the armed forces of the Philippines is part of the effort to deter the activities of the NPA or the other internal and external threats, there's this report that you're going to review the chopper deal with Russia. We're wondering how soon could you come up with the recommendation, and what's the reason mainly? Is it because of the Ukraine-Russia conflict?
I don't think we'll answer or will indulge that question, ma'am. I'm so sorry.
But it's addressing also the internal threat
No.
using those modernized...
I saw what you did there, though.
I
but
think,
okay.
you know, the review is like, because we are the new administration, I mean like the DND, sa DND kami yung mga bago, no? The review is like, parang, it's not fault finding, we're not looking for any graft and corruption case, issues there. It is aligning it to the current needs, the situation right now, the budget allocated for it and all. We're not targeting just one, all. Yung ano natin, lahat ng modernization projects namin, tinitingnan namin ito. But as I said, is it within budget? Is it relevant right now? Is the technology na kailangan namin is up to date pa siya ngayon? Yan yung ano, that's the general ano, not for anything else. We're not looking for past like kung meron bang missteps doon sa proseso or what. We're just looking at the AFP modernization program as a whole. Nakasama 'yon sa mga re-review na yun. But you know, as of now, wala pa kaming results, and we will take a look into it.
Thank you very much, sir. One last question po. Yes, sir.
Good morning po, Franco Luna, Philstar.
Yes po. Again, your name, sir?
Franco Luna from Philstar.com.
Yes, sir.
Question lang po for Secretary Carlos. Will the NSA under you po stand by the memo?
Can you remove your mask momentarily so I can
Thank you, sir.
understand you?
Will the NSA under you po stand by the memo of former NSA Esperon to block a news site, Bulatlat po?
That is under review, and I think there will be some legal aspects there. So I will not make any comment on that matter in the meanwhile. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. One last, and then we'll go. Okay.
Sorry po, you're all here. It's not it's not always that we see you. The NTF-ELCAC in the Duterte administration said, as soon as the anti-terror law is upheld, they will go on a full-on legal offensive, meaning they will file of cases. Is that still the direction of the NTF-ELCAC?
Okay. We are not weaponizing the anti-terror law. The filing of cases proceeds as situation and conditions on the ground appear. I'd like to express that the NTF-ELCAC is a balanced direction. For those who continue to fight government, we have the strong hands of the law. But for those who want to go back to the mainstream, there is the amnesty program. So we just like to impress upon everyone na porque may anti-terror law, parang gagamitin mo siya na you just jump on anyone and file cases. Hindi po, because we're happy that Secretary Carlos emphasized in the discussion that there is still that respect to human dignity and honor, even to the enemy. So what we wanted really is to end the conflict and restore their political and civil rights, their rights as a human being. So hindi namin pwede sabihin na dahil meron tayong ETL, para bang suddenly you find a big percentage of people being charged. Thank you.
Just ano na lang po on the delineation, the legal cluster would be OSG po, hindi po DOJ. And if may DOJ, ano po yung involvement ng DOJ in the NTF-ELCAC?
Justice Santi?
First off, I'd like to address your first question in addition to what Sec. Allen has said. Okay, in criminal law, there should be an overt act As long as you don't have the overt act, even how evil your mind is, you cannot be prosecuted. So even there's the Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020, a person is so safe unless he doesn't convert that evil mind into action. Okay? What's the role of the Department of Justice? I cannot speak for the OJ. I think Fiscal Dina is somewhere here, but I can speak with, for the Office of the Solicitor General. Our role here is I'm the chair of the Legal Cooperation Cluster under the Executive Order 70, or the whole of the nation and whole of the government approach. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much to our resource persons. Now for the statement, I will be sending it to all of you who have messaged me, and as well as a video of the meeting inside. To all our resource persons, thank you very much. A photo op muna po bago po tayo umalis. Thank you.